Well, I can tell you what works and what doesn't work, and I'll tell you what are the best things I've seen in the world. What works are school feeding, water projects where you dig for wells, immunization projects, basic education for mothers, when you teach mothers how to read and write. I'll tell you, when you do that, the population goes down, the gross national product comes up because the mothers learn about boiling water, they learn about breastfeeding, they learn about nutrition, they learn about how to start their own businesses, which leads into micro enterprise, micro credit, which is probably one of the best ways to get people on their feet. And you can take people, if you put those kinds of programs into a country, you will take people out of poverty. School feeding, because it's a real security issue. I'll never forget this man from Pakistan who's a farmer saying to me, a very poor man, I said, why do you send your son to that school that teaches hate about us, about the United States and Western nations? He said, I do that because I can't feed him. I can't pay for his education. I can't pay for his clothes. I can't board him anymore. And the school, even though I know it teaches hate and I don't like the school, they do it all. School feeding competes with that. And we get kids back in school because a lot of the poor, especially in rural areas, can't afford to allow their children to go to school because they need them to help them in the fields. But when you feed them, that's one less mouth, and we feed them with proper nutrition, fortified. And I'll tell you, it does a world of good when, and also the other thing about it, it gets women and girls back into schools when we do school feeding. And I told you about microcredit. If you do all of those things, school feeding, basic education, water projects, immunization, microcredit, you'll bring a country up real quick. Now, we don't do them all together. We should. And there's a lot of problems in the international community. We're not streamlined, we're not organized, we don't work together. But when I've seen that all of those things work very well. They're all worthwhile and they're all good.